No money went missing in the making of today's episode.
Welcome back to No Ginger. This is Ash.
And this is Samar. And together, with the power of friendship, we are... I don't know, but I feel like that was a Pokemon reference, but I have never seen Pokemon.
Why?
I don't know, but why haven't I watched Pokemon? Because I have
with your childhood.
You know? if we really think about it, probably a lot. But I don't know. I think I was okay. I'm pretty sure I was not really a traumatized child. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I made it out alive.
At least you know the power of friendship, so
yeah,
you should be all right.
I've heard about the power of nakama, actually.
Okay.
I don't know, but I have seen many a meme on the internet about the power of nakama.
What is the power of nakama?
Well, nakama means your colleague.
I know what it means, but what is the meme?
For those who may not know.
Okay.
Everyone knows the power of nakama. I don't think I need to explain it.
All right, fine.
I don't know. It just seems like
your nakama doesn't need to know
it's a
about
superpower.
nakama.
It's a superpower. You get extra strength because you have friends. Isn't that right?
I mean, yeah, that's the One Piece model.
I've also never seen One Piece. I'm gonna get deported if we start revealing more facts.
Yeah, I don't know what you've been doing. Well, I know what you've been doing. Even watching Chinese dramas. Okay.
That's true.
Anyway.
True. I'm sorry. China, please accept me. Okay. Samar, please tell us. What is your shouganai this week?
Besides your horrible taste in childhood TV shows.
You didn't even hear the other ones. You don't know.
Okay, what did you used to watch?
Well, what? Is this the purpose of this podcast?
Okay, all right. Moving on from my disappointment about her not even knowing Pokemon and any of the cool songs that they used to have in America. Or the rap songs.
What?
There used to be rap songs.
There was rap songs in anime? Isn't this cultural appropriation?
It was like they would rap the first 150 Pokemon. Anyway,
That's kinda impressive.
Actually, my shouganai has to do with friendship and the power of friendship or lack thereof.
You don't have friendship?
I have a friendship, but my friends be funny. They so funny.
Tell me about it. Is it me?
It's not you. It couldn't be you.
Oh,
I would have to test you one day.
Okay.
But,
I'm ready.
So, I have a friend who is a fan of this podcast. And
Thank you, friend.
Thank you, friend. And she likes to listen, and she is really funny in that she came to me one day and she said, "I'm so mad about your reel." And I got really scared because like
the content?
That's what I thought. Like, because we had released What's the Tea, the first one, and we were getting some hate comments about the male ones.
Another coworker came up to me after that episode, also raging, and I thought like, oh my gosh, like we didn't mean to upset you, but actually he was on our side because he just recently had a kid, and he was like, this is horrible, blah blah blah. And I was freaking out though, like that whole conversation, my face was probably frozen, like like fight or flight response didn't quite. I was just deer in headlights.
Yeah, that episode triggered a lot of people.
Sorry about that.
But no, what she was angry about was she was like, it was a great reel, but no one liked it.
Did she like it?
No.
Thank you so much for your support, friend.
And she said to me, she was like, I don't like things. I just watch them.
Yeah, and apparently the other 1,000 people who saw it.
But then she said she was mad that other people hadn't liked it.
Yeah, this is like a throwback to the exceptionalism thing we were talking about like last episode.
or just bystander effect. Somebody thinks somebody's gonna do it.
Someone else will do it. Yeah.
But it was just funny because, like, of course, I appreciate the support.
I do like the sentiment.
But as we are still babies on YouTube,
dear my friends, please smash the like button.
Yep, and share. Maybe the strongest help is sharing.
This is the power of nakama.
Power of nakama, help us out. But that was just the shouganai. I have a couple of friends who have said this to me. I saw your reel.
I liked it so much, and then like didn't like it.
And it's just, it cracks me up. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to like it. But it's funny, like, if they get upset that other people haven't liked it, but they also didn't like it. It's so contradictory.
I wonder if there's, I'm going to have to check with our friends. If there's a mindset of like, well, I know who these people are, so if I like it, it's not like the same. Like,
no, I get what they mean. Like, you see so many things, and just like there are serial likers, and there are serial lurkers, and I think a lot of my friends are serial lurkers.
I like all of our reels myself.
Okay, but
just so you know,
what about in general? Do you like things or do you lurk?
I'm more of a save person.
Yeah, I've been trying to like more things now because I know. I don't know if this is
true, but I think I read that like saving is also
it's the superior option, right?
And so I really like to cook, as I think has been clarified multiple times now. Thank you, Toph. Shout out. But so I'm always saving recipe videos.
Yeah.
And of course, I also really like to travel, so I'm always saving like destinations I'd like to go to.
Yeah, but I think those genres are more likely to be saved.
That might
in this case, I think like podcasts and YouTube sharing is
queen.
The one. Is queen.
Thank you.
But anyway, that was the shouganai.
For your help in advance. Yeah, that is shouganai.
Yeah.
Dear friend,
funny.
Press the
you
like
don't
button.
Have to.
Your solidarity is so appreciated, but please press the like button.
I love you. It just cracked me up.
That is,
I thought I was in trouble.
I wasn't there.
You were there.
Was I there?
But you were on the other side of the room.
Oh, okay.
We're not privy to this conversation.
Right. Obviously, I wasn't there physically, but not within earshot.
It was just so funny.
That's so funny.
Anyway, what is your shouganai?
Oh my god! For some reason, I literally thought I had already shared my shouganai. But okay, my bad. So recently, I went on a trip to
Shanghai.
No, not Shanghai.
Oh, thank God.
Different trip.
Finally.
I have had many trips in between Shanghai and now. Recently, I was in South Korea.
My fave.
Yeah, I say you've also talked about South Korea on this podcast.
Have I?
Well, you had to drag some luggage, hike some stairs.
That was one time. That was one conversation.
It was like the one we weren't together at that time.
Yeah,
but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one, this time, sorry.
What happened to you?
Anyway, so I was on my way to the airport, still in Japan. So I'm on my way to Haneda to fly out. And obviously, because what else do you do at an airport? That was stupid.
Why are you giving commentary on your commentary? Leave yourself alone.
I can't.
Be nice. The power of Nakamot yourself.
Help. I have no Nakama, so I have no power.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, I am on the train and I suddenly get a text message from my bank.
That's always lovely.
Yeah, my heart, of course, immediately in my shoes, stomach and throat. The message says someone has tried to make a $15 purchase on your on your Amazon account. And I'm like, okay, well, that would simply not be me, especially because the purchase was a Prime membership, but like an American Prime membership.
It's Bamboo Boy. He wants both Amazons.
It was not Bamboo Boy. Oh, dear listener, it was not Bamboo Boy.
Oh, dear.
It was someone from Oregon.
You got any friends?
I do not have friends from Oregon.
Nakama has reached.
Nope. No friends. No friends in Oregon that I... oh my God, what if I have a friend? No, I don't have a friend in Oregon.
That has your
That
Amex?
would have
No.
no, it was not on my, so my Amex is my Japanese credit card,
Yo.
but this was my American credit card. I have a Venture card.
America got hacked?
Yeah. So but even crazier is that it's my debit card that they tried to get, not even the credit card.
Damn.
Somehow they got the debit card number. I have no clue how, because I never use my debit card. So these people are scary. Of course, I immediately tell the bank, like, nope, that's not me. And they had already protected the account, so they shut it down. They shut down that card. Here's the problem with that. A Japanese cash card is not a debit card. So if you take it out of the country, you can't get any money.
As I'm familiar.
Yeah. And so instead, I had brought my American debit card. Also, the US exchange rate to won is obviously much more favorable than yen to won. So I was thinking, well, this would be better. I'll just use some USDs. Unfortunately, I now have no access to any cash at all.
And you're alone?
And I'm alone, and I'm on my way to the airport. And now it's no problem within Japan because we use our phones to pay for, well, at least you and I do. We use our phones to pay for literally everything now. But when you get to Korea, unless you are a Korean resident, you cannot put money, like digital money, on a, what do they call it there? The T-money card, like their Suica or Pasmo equivalent. You have to be a Korean resident in order to use an app to upload money onto the card.
Yeah.
So that means that the only other way to do it is you have to have cash, which I now have no access to.
So then what happened to you?
Fortunately, because I had my American credit card with me, and that credit card was not shut down, just the debit card, I was able to do a cash advance.
Oh no!
But you
the
never want
interest
to.
rate
Yeah, you never want to do a cash advance. Do
awful.
not do a cash advance. This is, once again, Ash believes in speaking to customer service very strongly. So after making the cash advance and getting out just a bit of money, I started watching my credit card account to make sure that as soon as the amount that I had withdrawn posted, I could pay it.
Okay.
Right. So that there would be very minimal, but so even though I didn't have to pay any interest because I caught it right away, because they do interest by the day on cash
By
advances.
the day?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Scary. I still had to pay a $10 fee for doing a cash advance in the first place. So I call the credit card company to be like, here's my whole story. Here's everything that's gone on. Like, this is why I had to do a cash advance. You can see how many years I've had this card for. I've never missed a payment. Like, my interest rate is like as low as it can possibly be on this card. So please trust me. Give me my $10 back.
You fought for $10.
Yeah, but it was worth it. I got my $10 back.
So,
But the shouganai is showing up and literally not having any cash. So what I learned from this experience,
okay, please tell me,
is just, even if it's only 10,000 yen, just exchange that.
or why don't you get
Like, I should have carried, if I had just carried a bit of Japanese physical money with me to exchange, I would have had no problem. But I was shook when I opened my wallet and there's no cash at all either. But again, I never use it. Yeah.
Also, why don't you have like Sony Bank or something? You can get cash out.
Samar, I've always had an American debit card. And my American debit card has way better. If the same thing could happen to your Sony debit card, and if it's the only debit card you had on you, what can you do?
I have multiple cards.
But
so many.
It could have happened. It was such a freak accident because it was
happened-
quite literally like I was on the train for 15 minutes when this $15 charge comes through. It was crazy.
Happened to my friend.
See, it's not so crazy. I should have just had some cash. Cash is still king. Okay, that's it. That's my reasoning. Cash is king
when you're
Carry
traveling.
a little bit of cash with you when you're traveling. Not a lot of cash. Don't be nuts. Just a little bit of cash, just in case. That's it. Lesson for the masses. Thank you for coming to Ash's lecture.
Yeah, I got hacked once. They charged $3,000
Wow.
in New York for what's that brand with the gorilla on it.
All I can think of is like Gorilla Glass, and I just don't think that's what you're talking about.
No, there's a fashion brand
Gorilla
that people.
Glue.
No, there's like a gorilla brand, something,
Gorilla
something like
tape.
it's fashion. It's in Omotesando or whatever, wherever it is. But someone charged $3,000 to that in New York City. So I thought I was just like, did my brother lose his
Pause for a Google.
Yeah, my brother lost his mind, or somebody like took my card, and they were like, all like, no. And to be fair, my brother's not that fashionable, so. But
Okay.
it was easy.
I'm not
enough.
pulling this up. I didn't Google well enough. I misspelled gorilla and then I gave up.
You'll know. It's like those fancy T-shirts with a gorilla on it. Yeah, so. At least
Did you get your money back?
Yeah, 3,000. We just tell them that. Obviously, that wasn't me. I wasn't in New York City, and I wouldn't buy $3,000 of whatever that brand is that I didn't know.
Off of a credit card, right?
Yeah. It was very easy.
That's so much easier. Like
So easy.
I was feeling so fortunate that at least Capital One caught that clearly this $15 from Oregon for an Amazon Prime membership could not possibly be me.
That's pretty.
But like yeah, because
good that they
debit
caught it,
cards are
yeah.
not nearly as protected as credit cards are.
No, it takes time to.
Yeah.
I used to work in an office where this was our job.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked in
Fun facts about Samara today.
returning this kind of money back. But the debit cards, of course, take much
Yeah.
time because it needs to be investigated, but also the money is gone.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like they stopped it before the purchase even went through, you know?
Yeah, so sometimes weird.
Maybe maybe they're getting smarter.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a location that you're not usually in and stuff, they usually will
Actually
flag.
never been to Oregon in
Yeah,
my life.
it would be odd to suddenly have activity like that. Yeah, so
Speaking of banks, I have a DM for us.
okay, let me hear about my former employer.
It really?
I used to
I
work
feel-
for a bank.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Well, this DMer says, Hi, Samara and Ash.
Hi.
I am moving away from Japan.
Oh no.
Well, bye.
We'll miss
so
you.
I called the bank to ask if there's any way to close my account from abroad because I need the account to finish payments after moving.
Okay, why would you do that?
First of all, do not ask questions in Japan. They do not need that kind of context. You just Anyway,
No.
they go, "No, please finish all payments before moving." To which
Shocking.
I say, "Yes, okay, but I can't finish all payments before moving and I need to receive my salary, so what other options do you have?" The bank says, "It would be best if you could finish all payments before moving." Isn't that the exact same thing they just said? So, I hear you, lady, but I can't. So what are the alternatives? Can I close it from your foreign branch? The bank says no, because it's not Japan. Yes, but
Logical.
it's the same bank, but it's not Japan.
Okay.
Okay, so can I just empty the account and leave it there until I come visit again in however many years if I can't close it? We recommend finishing all payments before leaving
So
and then
repeating the
closing
same
the
thing
account.
3 times, manual answers.
So apparently, the internet banking and banking apps may not work from overseas.
Shocking.
What do I do? Is this a ginger or no ginger?
You want to try that again?
Yeah, I do. Is this a ginger or no ginger situation? Sincerely, Japan's banking is of a third world country.
I think other countries have better credit card and banking than both America and Japan combined, to be honest with you.
Combined.
Yeah,
Oh, we're making bold claims
America
now.
sucks. America banking also sucks. Japan
I don't have
banking
any-
also.
I feel like I haven't really had any issues with banking in the US.
I mean, the banking in the US, it depends. Like I couldn't get a bank account now because I have no proof of like residency and stuff.
But to be fair, it's the same like when you come into Japan. I feel like I've seen so many videos on this that are like, I guess this is actually just proving your argument true, that you come into Japan, you're like, okay, well, let me get a bank account. And they're like, no, you can't get a bank account without a phone number. Okay, let me get a phone number. No, you can't get a phone number without an address. Okay, let me get an address. No, you can't get an address without a bank account. Or is something to this effect?
Yeah. So, I mean, the US banking is similar. I mean, you're talking about an industry that's really old, and their whole business model is taking your money, which you lose control over, so that they can make money off of your money, and also the government can track your money. That's their whole concept.
I mean, yeah, like
so expecting flexibility or, you know, sense from them is it's a bit of an overreach, in my opinion.
And I mean, sure, they're holding on to your money, but they also have to find a way to be making money. So while your money is in the bank, it's essentially theirs to use. There's a bunch of gray area here, I understand. But when you are saying, can I still have access to my account, though I will no longer have the thing that gives me this account, which is your local address? Of course, the answer will be no. But I can also understand the frustration because, okay, obviously people move. It's not like there should be something in place for you to be able to like retain access for like a certain amount of time or whatever.
I mean, like, as globalized as people think the world is,
no, borders are strong.
Borders are strong. Even like what drives me nuts is like when you are traveling and you need to get like a verification code and they send it to your phone number, and they will only send it to your phone number, but your phone number is no longer in service because you're not in the country that you're supposed to be in to get it. And they won't accept your email. This kind of stuff also drives me nuts.
I think one of the smartest things that my parents have ever allowed me to do upon my request was, can I please keep my American phone line?
Yeah. So you were lucky in that regard.
So because I still have my American phone number, and I don't know, that they maybe pay like $5 a month for me to keep it at this point. There's no separate phone. I just have the number as like a theoretical thing that I could use, so that I can retain my bank.
Yeah. I think most people like...
Yeah, but that would definitely be like, I kind of think I may be a bit of an exception to the rule. Like, unless you've moved as a complete expat, so you are maintaining your, like, some form of residency or address in your home country. But we're more of, frankly, like an immigrant situation. So
we're not going anywhere. So I think for Japan banking, they're a mess. I mean, if you have any Japan banking anything, you're just like, they're so bad at security that they have now tightened security that they send you an email for like every single thing you do. Like every time I try to make an online purchase, I cannot
get a one-time code
for every single purchase now, which wasn't the case, but they've been hacked so many times that it's a mess. And their online banking system is so old that...
Or it's weird because the online banking system, it's like, it's new that they have an online banking system, but the system that they made is circa 20 years ago. Yeah. So you're looking at it going, and this is going to be useful for what? Yeah. But not only that, they have silliness like, if you go to the bank and you ask them to complete a service for you, you need to pay a fee for them to do that service. So they will tell you, hey, if we don't do this and you just do it yourself, we won't tell you how to do it. But if you do it yourself, it's free.
It's ridiculous. And I mean, you lost access to your debit card, but earlier this year, I was traveling. I got my visa renewed this year, and I reported the new visa to my bank twice because the banking app kept saying, report it. And I just kept being like, why is it keep giving me this notification? So I uploaded it twice, and 6 months later, I was locked out of my account the day I left the country for a 6-week
something about flying
trip.
Out of Japan.
My friend too, her bank didn't even send her a notification because her visa was also being renewed. They just cut off her access without even sending
Wow, so helpful.
Luckily, she was with me. So I could just pay for things and she could pay me back. In my case, it was all right because I had another card. But they're just not very clever, these banks.
No. They do everything. Everything is done via, seriously, just A4 pieces of paper.
I don't know about that.
Well, okay, here's my example. So I had just got my new credit card. This was like a little while ago, but I just gotten a new credit card. And the amount of money that I had spent on the card was over my one-time ATM withdrawal limit. So I had to go in to say, hey, I've just done some big purchases, so I've got quite a large statement this time. Can you make this transfer for me? And they're like, no, we can't do the transfer for you because then you have to pay for us to make the transfer so you can do it yourself. Okay, I'll do it myself. Except for that it's over the withdrawal limit or the transfer limit, so I can't. So I'm telling them, like, I can't make this withdrawal. And they're acting like it's because I don't know how to do a transfer on the ATM. I know how to do a transfer on the ATM.
I know how to do a transfer on the app, but still.
Still, no. So this guy pulls out a piece of paper that just says essentially, please write your name and then like click a checkbox that says how much money you would like to be able to transfer in one go.
So you can raise your limit
And then
so that you can do it.
Yeah, and then stamp your hunkle. And that's it. Once you've put that stamp on there, they just scan this A4 piece of paper that I signed.
Yeah.
And voila, now I suddenly had, but when I did this, they didn't ask me for any information, just my name. I thought, this is insane. This doesn't feel secure at all. I felt like I could have just made up some random person's name.
I mean,
I don't have access to their account or anything, but
one time my credit card stopped working because of the chip. And this was like a bank credit card.
okay.
And I needed a new one because it was also the cash card. It was combined. It took them 5 weeks. And that was the only one I had at that time. Now I have many cards so that I could avoid this. But I just thought it was ridiculous
That it took
for
5
a
weeks.
bank
Yeah.
to take 5 weeks. Meanwhile, one of our friends is from a different country where she says they can issue you a card in the same day. So I think some countries just haven't caught up.
Quite picked up the pace.
Yeah.
They haven't found out about the 21st
To be fair,
century yet.
I don't think America has either. It takes 2 to 3 weeks still.
I think it kind of depend on the situation because they might have like rush. Because I remember when this debit card problem happened, they sent the new card to my parents' house, which is where I've registered my address to maintain this bank account. Within like 3 days.
I think
But
if it's
still,
an
3 days
emergency,
is pretty.
If it's an
it could be
emergency,
long.
you can speed them up in America. In Japan, I don't know.
You can't speed up nothing. No, I have so many funny banking stories. I went to open an account at a different bank because I was thinking, oh, well, it will be better to have an account that gives you a combined debit cash card sort of situation. But this bank, they were like, oh, well, we can't give you an account because you don't speak Japanese. And this was way back when I didn't. But my question then was, well, why do you have an English option on your ATM?
That's always the crazy thing to me. It's like when they have English services, but they don't want people who.
It's like, sure, you can use the English service, but only if you can also speak Japanese. Like, please use the English for fun. But at that point, like, if you're that good, you didn't need the English service anyway. It's just so silly. Such silliness.
So to address this email, just don't close down the account. As your residence card expires, they will shut it down.
Honestly, like, if you need to get that money and you've got someone that you trust to make that transfer for you, you can do that.
I think you also, I think the official way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to assign a proxy, probably,
right.
And then someone can do everything for you. Yeah. That's what they want you to do. I don't know why this person is so incompetent that they just didn't tell you that.
They like to just skip out on the obvious solutions that they do have in place.
It's just, sometimes it's just incompetence. They don't know how to think outside of like the easy answer. So it's usually you have to find someone else. But that's kind of universal. Sometimes people who they just started the job or they don't know what they're saying and they think they're right, but they're not right. And you have to find someone who looks or is more competent. And they usually are very helpful.
Well, not
And
everyone is willing to Karen up.
it's not even about carrying it up. You just literally, you go to a different bank and talk to a different person.
But though they're actually funny though about the bank branches here, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, if you're not close enough to this branch, like we can't give you the help. Like you have to go to your local bank branch. I've had this happen.
My local bank branch is in like the middle of nowhere in Aichiken. So
Yeah, no. Local to your current address. Like whatever address you have. I know JP does this and Muji.
that would be insane.
Muji, no, MUFG. They do it.
That would be
Is that a J? Where's the G? It's UF.
FJ. But like
MUFG. I don't know.
I just recommend people to get Sony. Sony has given me no problems. It has a
Sony sponsor us.
yes. Sony Bank, like the online banks in Japan are the only banks that have kind of their stuff together. I love Sony. It has the debit cash card that works in Japan and works abroad, and you can deposit it in 7-Eleven, and there's no passbook. It's just
I didn't know we had
hassle.
gotten to a level to have advertisements, Samar.
It's the only bank to ever bring me.
We don't have any. Please.
Only bank to make me happy. I hate all other banks.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what I would recommend if you are struggling with your bank. But otherwise, yeah, I just don't expect much.
No.
When you're telling people you're leaving, they especially don't care about you because you're leaving. You're not going to be a customer any longer.
No.
So there's literally no reason to keep you happy.
That's a really nice way to think about it. That will keep you from leaving Japan for sure. Please keep me happy.
I mean, yeah.
This DMer left one final comment as a PS.
Okay.
And we
What
will
was their
close with
PS?
this. Nothing works. The system is so broken that it hides the fact that nothing works by keeping you in an unending bureaucracy loop you'll never escape. And on that note, this has been No Ginger.
If you've got a problem.
We will put it on the podcast. Anyway, this has been No Ginger. Our podcast is produced in its entirety by both Ash and Samar. Special thank you to our DMer and to you, our listener. Subscriptions, DMs are welcome at No Ginger Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Send us your problems via DM at what's the Gmail? nogingerpodcast@gmail.com. If you've got a problem, I've got a problem. I don't know our Gmail account.
That's
We
a big
will
problem.
put it. We're gonna put that on the podcast. Bye.
Bye.